Good morning, Columbus. Thank you so much for tuning in today's daily dose of digital Torah inspiration here at Sinai Studios, Judaism Today. Today we observe Yom HaZikaron, Israel's Memorial Day for its fallen soldiers and victims of terror. And one can't help but be struck by the stark contrast and juxtaposition of Yom HaZikaron to Yom HaAtzmaut, that Israel elected to observe its Memorial Day immediately preceding Yom HaAtzmaut. The message couldn't be more clear that it is only through the sacrifice of those who gave their lives for the state of Israel to protect our Jewish brothers and sisters in Israel that we can have in Israel, and that Yom HaAtzmaut is a product in so many ways of Yom HaZikaron, and that one without the other is insufficient. Again, the opposite is true as well. Yom HaAtzmaut gives meaning to their sacrifice, and it's such a powerful juxtaposition that it always strikes me. But I think it's more important than ever to be cognizant of this today, because what it reminds us is that we can't take Israel for granted, and that unfortunately, while it's become in vogue in many circles to criticize Israel by Jews and to attack Israel and find all the things that Israel is doing wrong. And, the truth is that this was a miracle of God. That giving us the land of Israel is a miracle of God, and it carries literally the blood, sweat, and tears sacrifice of our sons and daughters of the Jewish people for the last 7 and 8 decades. And, we can't take that for granted. We can never take that for granted. On the contrary, we need to teach our kids how precious it is, and how much has been given up by so many to make this a reality. We need to teach our kids that we have to be grateful to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that He enabled such a miracle to happen. As Rabbi Soloveitchik said, it's Kol Dodi Dofek. It's the voice of our beloved knocking at the door. It's God Himself telling us He wants a relationship with us. That's what's wrapped up in being able to live in Eretz Yisrael today, and being able to visit, and being able to build shuls and synagogues and communities and children and yeshivot, and it's such a privilege. And when you have that perspective, of course, you could always find room to criticize, but what is the tenor of the conversation? What are we teaching our kids? Do our kids love Israel? Are we teaching them that? How are we teaching them? And nothing can be more important as us who are living here in America today to teach our kids. But remember, look who's given it up their lives, so we can have this opportunity. And let's take a moment today to contemplate this, reflect on this, and be unabashedly pro-Israel, Zionistic, and appreciative towards this incredible gift that God has given us. I hope you enjoyed that episode of Judaism Today. If you did, please make sure to follow us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, or check into our podcast wherever podcasts are listened to, and we look forward to hearing from you more.